The 7th round of the 2008 NASCAR Canadian Tire Series on TSN is brought to you by Castrol Syntec. Unlock the power. By Mopar. Authentic performance. And by Duplicolor, the premium brand leader in automotive paints, primers, and coatings. As all the drivers buckle in and prepare for the NAPA 100, let's send it trackside where UAP's Pierre Vassell is set to give the command.
Good morning, everyone. Let's have a great race. Pilote, démarrez vos moteurs. Drivers, start your engines.
The number 7 car of Alex Tagliani roars to life. His crew chief Alex Nagy putting up the window net. Alex is on a roll after that victory in Edmonton, but says this track is very different. Horsepower will really come into the equation. Just ahead of him on the lineup, the 22 of Scott Steckley. Yesterday, they discovered a problem with a gasket in the water pump. Better to find out yesterday than during the race today.
Well, they say racing luck is just the intersection of preparedness and experience. That's just good luck to find that water leak yesterday and not this morning.
Good look at Robin Buck in the 88. Now let's take a look at today's Duplicolor starting grid as the cars roll off. On pole is the 02 of Kerry Micks outside front row. Young J.R. Fitzpatrick in the 84. Hometown favorite Andrew Ranger will start third in the 27 alongside your points leader Scott Steckley. Alex Tagliani fresh off a win in the 7. He'll start alongside the 4 of Don Thompson Jr. Row number 4 brings us Peter Gibbons in the 1 and DJ Kennington doing double duty here this weekend in the 17. There's Robin Buck in the 88 alongside Barrie native Mark Dilley in the 9. Jason Hathaway drives the 3. He'll start to the inside of row 6 alongside Jeff Lapsevich in the 23. Peter Kloot drives the 42 and Dave Whitlock in the 39. That's row number 7. Then row number 8 has Brad Graham in the 19 and Anthony Simone in the 95. The 29 is Pierre Bourque and Jim Lapsevich drives the 25 in row number 9. Row 10 has Ron Beauchamp Jr. in the 60 and Doug Brown in the Haldex Dodge in the 10. Row number 11, Joey McComb in the 56 and Didier Schraden in the 94. Making a rare start here in the NASCAR Canadian Tire Series. Trevor Siebert in the 69, Derek Lynch in the 77 make up row number 12. Dave Connolly in the 82 and John Gandhi in row number 13. And then in row number 14, it's Jason White in the 21. Brian Cathcart driving the 71 here today. Kent Noon in the 18 and Jared Whistle in the 44. They make up row number 15. And then it's John Fletcher in the 49. Ashley Tawes making her first ever NASCAR Canadian Tire Series start in the 72. And David Thorndike in the 67 rounds out the field. And unfortunately for the driver of the 95, Anthony Simone will not race due to an engine failure.
And Dave, here's today's Allied Steel Building race analysis. It's a 100-kilometer sprint race, which has these 32 cars going 23 laps. This track is scenic yet very technical. Let's have a look. It's 4.3 kilometers long, 15 turns. Turns 1 and 2 are high speed, and they're great passing zones under braking. We get down through 6 and 7, another exciting spot, but it's pretty tight. You have to take a chance there. The best place is right down here in the hairpin. Get the spot going in, under braking, and get the job done.
You see turns 13 and 14. That is another place where a lot of the action happens at the end of the casino straight. A little bit of a discrepancy between 15 and 14 turns. There is a small kink going down the front chute into the Senna S's, and that is counted as one corner as the field lines up behind the Dodge Caliber SRT4 pace car. With more on today's event, here's Todd Lewis.
Guys, one of the things all teams are concerned about today is conservation, conserving their equipment to get through this 23-lap race. Trevor Siebert had to replace a motor yesterday. Pete Gibbons in the Canadian Tire car replaced 2 clutches, and a lot of teams have changed brakes and brake pads since yesterday. It will take its toll on 23 laps around this course.
Well, this is a very tight and technical course, like we said, but preparation says it all. Put fresh brakes in it, put fresh clutches in them, and let them eat.
Absolutely, and we'll have 6 onboard cameras for some pretty unique views to watch today's event here at the NAPA 100 in Montreal. You can see some of the drivers at work, and we'll have that neat roof cam on top of the Castrol Syntec Dodge of DJ Kennington. And just a little further to what Todd mentioned earlier, the 69 of Trevor Siebert and the 1 of Peter Gibbons will fall to the back for the start of today's race.
And that's looking in the office of J.R. Fitzpatrick. Now, J.R. was feeling very confident in his interview earlier on, and look for J.R. to be up front most of this event.
And with that corner 1 kink counting as a corner, he will start to the inside of Kerry Micks as they thunder down the straight. The Dodge caliber SRT4 pace car is off and down pit lane. Kerry Micks, your pole sitter. The 84 of J.R. Fitzpatrick alongside. Look at this beautiful field stacking up behind. VP of Marketing for Chrysler Canada, Mark Bosanek, in the tower, set with the green flag as we get set to unleash the cars here in the NAPA 100. We're green and we're go.
Side by side, down up through the gearbox. JR drives it in super hard. He's going to get the spot.
Outbreaking on the outside is the 84. We'll take a look at the rest of the field, filtering through the 22 of Scott Steckley. Managed to hang it. Look, we're 3 wide, deeper in the pack.
And I said this was a tight and technical racetrack. There's these oval guys going at it 3 wide.
Once again, that time Alex Tagliani lucky on the outside as Robin Buck in the 88 backed off on the inside of the 4 of Don Thompson Jr. Now the field finally filters to single file. 6th spot is Alex Tagliani in the 7 cars. He drops down a couple gears and tucks in behind the Home Hardware Chevy. Don Thompson Jr. And here comes the 02 of Kerry Micks.
Up through the gearbox. Now we're watching that horsepower fly down here, down into 3rd gear, braking zone. Mixie to the inside, hard on the brakes. He gets the spot.
Well, the horsepower in the Chevys has been a little bit of a question coming into this race in Montreal as we go on board. J.R. Fitzpatrick in the 84 trying to tuck underneath in the draft.
Well, we've had a conversation all year long about the dominance horsepower-wise. JR to the inside again.
And J.R. Fitzpatrick to the lead, looking a little bit further back with the 88 of Robin Buck underneath the 7 car of Alex Tagliani.
Well, down there we've seen the horsepower thing again. The Chevrolet guys have been complaining that they're bringing knives to gunfights. But the Fords and the Dodges have proven to have more horsepower. But look at that Chevrolet on the point.
In a little bit of speedy drive that was left earlier on today. Kerry Micks taking a look underneath the 84, but he won't have enough. Now Don Thompson Jr. poking into the passing lane, but not close enough to make a move as you see the cars bouncing off the curbs and heading down alongside the Wall of Champions here on the front chute at the Circuit Gilles Villeneuve.
Well, J.R. Fitzpatrick showing what his talent's all about here today, using up the whole racetrack, curb to curb. He's the man to beat right now.
You really have to bounce off these curbs here in Montreal to make the cars work, don't you, Billy?
Well, the racetrack is so narrow, you got to use the inside and outside apexes to your advantage to make the car work.
This time, Kerry Micks is close enough. Will he make a move? No, not this time, as J.R. Fitzpatrick takes that passing lane away in the 84 car. Andrew Ranger still solidly in 3rd spot in the Walmart tied Ford Fusion, as that time Fitzpatrick a little loose on quarter exit.
The young fella's driving the wheels off that car. See JR come through there hard in the gas, got the thing out a little loose coming up off the corner. But remember, whether it's a road race or whether it's an oval, loose is fast.
Take a look at who's looming in there in the top 5. The tow truck in a box, number 22 of Scott Steckley. He is your points leader as we ride on board with DJ Kennington.
Oh, there's DJ Kennington, the green machine, heading to the front. He's now in 7th position.
And you saw off the top of the show, DJ Kennington in the Nationwide Series car. He will run in the 81 Mahindra Tractors Dodge.
Well, that's great. This is probably one of the first weekend he hasn't had to drive all across the country to drive both of his race cars.
And look at Micks right up to the bumper. The 84 of J.R. Fitzpatrick as both of those drivers bounce hard off the curb down in the Dodge hairpin.
Oh, what a great sound of speed. Hear those cars thundering by just once you get out there and do it.
And they are moving at quite a clip. Still that dust from the speedy dry despite 32 cars running through it at lap number 1 as we ride on board with Andrew Ranger still chasing the 02 of Kerry Micks sitting in 3rd spot. And look at how close Tagliani comes to that wall.
Oh, he was using up all the racetrack, that's for sure. Now, he's on a bit of a roll, as we said earlier. He really put it to the guys out on the tarmacs in Edmonton, so he's coming in here with a lot of confidence, home track advantage, and he's in front of his peers one more time.
And it really builds momentum, too, knowing that he can win in a stock car.
Well, you know, and we haven't mentioned enough. You got Billy Burns on one side of the program over there and Alex Nagy, both really good race car preparing guys.
So the 84 of J.R. Fitzpatrick continues to lead the NAPA 100 here in Montreal, now opening up a little bit of a lead on the Beyond Digital Imaging 02 Ford Taurus of Kerry Micks.
We've seen the 27 of Andrew Ranger taking a glimpse inside a Mixie there. And those two have history.
And we'll take another look at what happened a little bit earlier on. You see Peter Gibbons, we're riding on board with Peter Gibbons. He got into the 77 of Derek Lynch after the 56 of Joey McComb checked up. Now, big question, Billy, is that going to affect the aero in the number 1 car?
Well, it will for sure. It'll ruin the front downforce, but more importantly, it's going to ruin Peter's vision out the front of the race car. We'll be back with more after this.